mentioned, today is a holiday. Since 1918, Veterans Day has honored military men and women who have fought for America's freedom. And here at KRQE, we join in that to saluting our veterans. Thank you very much for your service. As you probably know, most schools, courts, city, county, and state offices are closed today. Also closed in Albuquerque are child development centers, community centers, health and social service centers, senior centers, and animal shelters. Inside the city of Albuquerque, the early voting sites are open on this Veterans Day. Find out more about that at KRQE.com. ABQ Ride will run most weekday schedules today. Some of the Rail Runner bus routes are not in service today, while the Rail Runner itself is running a Saturday schedule. There will be regular garbage pickup in Duke City, and in case you're wondering, you want to get outside a little bit later, the zoo and the biopark are open. To find out what is open in your area, it's best to check the internet or make a call. It's also the best way to figure out what kinds of Veteran Day events are happening. Of course, an angel fire, the traditional service at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, starts this morning at 11 o'clock. And here in the metro area, the annual Veterans Day Parade is this morning. It begins at 9 at Bullhead Park. The parade heads north toward the Veterans Hospital and ends at Veterans Memorial Park at 1100 Louisiana Southeast, getting there approximately at 10 o'clock this morning. Well, so many of the stories of battle have been lost when a soldier, a Marine, or a sailor has died. And this year, those precious moments of our history are being preserved forever. Andrew Carroll is taking on something he calls Project Legacy. It's a collection made of correspondence from battlefields all around the world, including poems, even plays from the earliest of wars up to now, with emails from Afghanistan. Project Legacy has gathered about 90,000 letters to give newer generations firsthand accounts of history and past veterans a chance to have their stories told. All right, coming up on 5:03 now to this morning's top stories, and we go to a man in northwest Albuquerque who's accused of setting his own home on fire. Neighbors say he exhibited some bizarre behavior before the fire broke out. Kyle Hankley made his first appearance in court yesterday on multiple arson charges. According to a criminal complaint, police arrested him after they say he admitted to setting fires on both floors of his house near Coors and Eagle Ranch Road on Saturday. A witness says that before the fires, he knocked on Hankey's door to return a laptop that Hankey had randomly given to neighboring kids. The witness asked him about some alarms that were going off earlier in the day.
I said, you know, your smoke alarms went off, and he said, yes, I know, I've got it under control, I was in the Air Force.
In court, Hankey told the judge he is a veteran with PTSD and that he is suffering from bipolar disorder. The judge kept his bond at $5,000. You know, when cops go out to a crime, they're usually the ones slapping on the cuffs, but when officers got to a car crash this weekend, a guy was already handcuffed and on the ground. And that guy is Gregu Gallegos. He was in court yesterday after police say he was drunk when he got into that crash. Officers say witnesses called 911 after Gallegos and the driver of another car got into a fight. Well, it turns out the other guy was an FBI agent that ended up handcuffing Gallegos. And besides the DWI, he's also charged with assault on a peace officer. All right, hey parents, how would you like to simply log on to your computer and get a glimpse of your kids' grades, how they're doing with their homework, and a whole lot more? If Governor Susana Martinez gets her way, you'll soon be able to do that. She wants the legislature to allocate $1 million so that all schools across the state can have the programs. We found out some schools like Southwest Learning Center Charter School already have something similar in place. Our Samantha McDonald shows you how it works.
Have you checked it today?
Yeah, my grades are really good.
Checking grades, as simple as a few clicks of the mouse or strokes on the keyboard. That's exactly what students and their parents are doing at Southwest Learning Center Charter School in Albuquerque.
All my students, this is exactly where they're at in the class at any given time, so they know exactly what their grade is and where they stand.
Jalen loves the program called PowerSchool because it lets her 6th graders and their parents not only see their grades 24/7, but also see if kids are missing assignments and find out when other ones are due.
He knows all the stuff that I have to do and what I need. If I put a 0 in, that parent knows immediately that their child needs to maybe do a little more homework that night.
Wanda hates seeing those zeros. She has 3 kids at Southwest Learning Center, and PowerSchool makes it easy to keep track of how all of them are doing in class.
We check it a minimum of once a week. One of my kids, I have to check it a little more often.
And Wanda's not the only parent who uses the program. It gets quite the workout because a whopping 98% of these kids' parents log on to check in on their kids.
It creates a lot of informal discussions. I don't have to have huge parent meetings.
That means Jalen and other teachers can spend less time worrying what their kids are doing at home and more time on their teaching in the classroom.
You've done a great job bringing up your reading grade.
All right, that was Samantha McDonald reporting for us. Now, this charter school has used the PowerSchool program for about 7 years now. APS has its own web program for parents to keep track of their kids. It's called IParent, and the district says it's been a big hit. Schools all over the country and here in New Mexico are taking a different approach when it comes to head lice. It used to be that a note was sent home with kids who had head lice. The child was then sent home and told not to come back to school until they had been treated. Well, now schools will let the kids with live lice in their hair back into the classroom and no more notes. Officials say the policy would help keep kids from missing class and cut down on embarrassing the children. No word on what specific schools are adopting the new policy.
In case you missed it this weekend, the man who led the Republican Party of New Mexico for nearly a decade has passed away. John Dendall's family says he passed away Saturday at a hospital in Colorado after having complications from his leukemia treatments. Mr. Dendall ran for governor in 1994, losing to Gary Johnson. That same year, he's elected as a GOP chairman, a position he held until 2003. Known for his fearless challenges of Democrats, Dendall came under fire from his own party after backing former Governor Gary Johnson's criticism of the war on drugs. John Dendall was 75 years old.